right? In the book of Genesis, it said his eyes would be red with wine. And it says his eyes is red in the book of Genesis. So who are we talking about? We're talking about Jesus the Christ. That's right. Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Like I see your heels, right? So your feet are the same color as the rest of your body, right? Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So now burned brass. What color is burned brass? Brown. And if it's burned, it's dark brown. So we got a woolly-headed man with burnt brass colored skin, right? What does that describe? That's what anybody would describe as a black man. If the police had to describe that, that's a black man. You understand? So what we're saying is not a lie. Give me that in Daniel chapter 10 and verse 7, right? 10 and verse 7. I'm gonna show you this because he said this. You only have that one verse. So let's find out what the Bible says, right? Let's find out. Read.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Right. So Daniel saw a vision and he beheld to the end of all these kingdoms that are around. Right, go ahead.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days. Who's the Ancient of Days? It's someone that existed before time. Who is that? God. God, exactly, right? He said the Ancient of Days was sitting there. Right, read.
Whose garment was white as snow.
So he had a garment that was white as snow. Go ahead.
And the hair of his head.
Is what?
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Like the pure wool. Right? So what kind of hair did he have? Yeah, like afro hair. There you go, right? There you go. Now, I want the one in Daniel 10. Try 10 and 6. Yep.
The book of Daniel, chapter 10 and verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
So he had like a big belt, like, wrestling, stuff like that. It was gold. Go ahead.
His body also was like the beryl.
He was in a green garment. Go ahead.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
You know, in the Old Testament, Moses had wisdom that was shining on his face. That's the same thing that's happening here. We're going to find out who we're describing. Read.
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
His eyes was like fire. Right? This sounds familiar. Read.
And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Oh, that sounds familiar, right? Who are we talking about? We talking about Christ. Absolutely. Christ. Right? So when the brother came up here and said, no, that's not true. That's not true. We're finding it in several places in the Bible. Several places in the Bible. So why is it that this image was given to us and we know that as Jesus Christ? Why? When did they give it to us? Let me show you how they gave it to us. Let me show you the exact method in which we started believing in. That method right there. See that? Right? If you did something disobedient, like said, well, I don't want to do that, or I don't believe in that, what happened to you? You got whooped. So now, after you seeing this happen to your dad or seeing that happen to your mom, you as a kid is going to do what? You gonna listen up. You're going to be like, whoa, I don't want that to happen to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to act it out and I'm going to teach it to my children. And they're going to teach it to their children. And today, we are those children that have been taught via this lesson.
That's right.
And so that's why we come around here and we say, I don't believe that. I don't believe that one on the far side. But it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Exactly. Right? And that's what we're here to teach. Does that answer your question, sis? Absolutely. Do you know what tribe you're from, sis? Do you remember? Come on, let's go back to it.
Oh, yeah.
Which? You're from the 12 tribes of Judah, but which one specifically? Do you remember? That's your slave name. What does God call you? Judah. That's right. That's right. So, sis, you have any more questions? Check this out. On that flyer, you have the information to follow up. Right? You got contact information on the back. We got a school in Mililani. I understand that's quite a journey, but everybody's making it, right? Because we have to be the ones to restore ourselves, because no one else is going to do it. No one else is going to do it, right, sis? Right? They'll give us stuff to make us calm down and stuff, but they're not going to tell us who we are. Nobody's running around here telling us we Judah.
Right.
They tell us we different, we black. They tell us we African, we Negro. Right? They're telling us all those type of things, but no one is telling us who we are in the Bible. If they say we're a Gentile, which Gentile are we? Right? So that's what we have learned out of the Bible, who we are according to the Bible. right? And what we need to do is now gather ourselves together. Get that for me, Nehemiah 2:1, then Genesis 26. Oh, sorry, then Matthew 26. All right, let me show you what God also commands us. Remember, if we didn't listen to God's commandments, what happened to us? And it said nobody gonna save us. That means Barack Obama could get voted 20 times, and he not gonna do nothing for us. You understand? So we have to do what God says. This is also what God said for us to do.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Do what now?
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
You heard that, sis? We got to gather ourselves together, right? Not like a party, but we got to gather ourselves together under the Lord.
That's right.
We got to learn who we are. We got to keep the commandments. We got to learn how to keep the commandments of God, right? That's what we must do as God's chosen people. So we can learn how to fix our dress code, how to fix our understanding, how to purge all the things that we learned from these guys. You understand? And come back to our own heritage. You know a woman is not supposed to be wearing pants? Did you ever get taught that? Did you know that? Oh, so you did know that. So why you out here wearing pants? See, that's because you don't have your brothers and your sisters around you to keep you in check.
Right.
That's why. To help you out and correct you, be like, hey sis, we not doing that. You don't do that, because we all the same people. We all the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is what we do to please our God. You know something as simple as that? Just wearing pants. It's just clothing, right? Something that God will judge you for that. You know those things that happen to us and we don't understand why? But God is like, yo, I'm checking you, right? So now when you see these brothers on the street teaching you the Bible, now you need to pay attention. Because the little jab that he was throwing before, now that you understand, it might not be a jab no more.
That's right.
It might be something heavy.
Right.
So it's important that we fear God and do what he says to do. All right?
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example.